Hi, my name is Crystal Lee. I am a product manager in application delivery and security team. In this video, I am going to walk you through the latest features that we brought into the service graph on ADM Service. I will first do a quick recap for whom may not be very familiar with Service Graph, and then I will dive into those key new features and enhancements, which includes a view for top talkers, dynamic edge thickness, and service node overlay. I will show how it works in a demo setting so you can see them in action. Now let's get started. Service Graph is part of ADM Service. It is designed to monitor and troubleshoot applications and services. Service Graph can automatically discover and map out the interdependencies and relationships of services as long as the Citrix ADC is in the communication path. It also gives you an at-a-glance view of the health status for your services running in your system with color-coded nodes and edges indicating whether there is issue observed or detected. Service Graph is much more than just a graphical feature. We provided different types of drill down at per service level. As you can see, we provide 3 pillars of observability, which includes metrics, logs, and distributed tracing in one place. For the key metrics, we keep tracks of number of hits, response time, both average and P99, errors counts, and data volume for each service within a defined time bound. We enable anomaly detection in last product iteration, where we automatically detect outliers for any given key metrics and highlight them for you with showing you what's the normal range with this blue ribbon. Lastly, we can also capture end-to-end distributed tracing and indicate what is a service that contributes the most to the slowness. Now let's dig into the new enhancements. When you are dealing with tens, hundreds, or even thousands of services all together in your system, you will want to put your attention on those who make the most impact to your customer experience. Top Talkers view gives you a holistic understanding of those hot services in your system. It includes columns such as status, hits, response time in P99, errors, data volume, and many more. You can pick and choose the ones to your interest. For each service, we use the spark lines for each key metric to give you a trending view during that given time period. You can easily eyeball on those have dramatic changes. Like what we implemented across the board on ADM Service, we track changes for each metric to give an idea on how much of the change compared to previous period. All the fields are sortable in either ascending or descending order, while the default view is by hit numbers. Lastly, we implemented the view with 2 tabs, Services and Service to Service. Services means any targeted service which can have multiple upstream services. It doesn't really care about the source request, while Service to Service always comes in pair with source and destination services. In the future, we will implement more intelligence around top talkers. For example, if one of the top 3 services drop out of top 20, we will recognize and send an alert to user that could bubble up unpredictable unknowns in your system so that you can always proactively look into the cause of it before the impact reaches to your customers. We want to give the user the most out of the service graph, not only the richness of the data, but also through the visualization. We now implemented dynamic edge thickness to indicate the number of the hits. The greater or more the edge width indicates the number of hits is higher. In this example, we can clearly tell requests to TV shows is more than those to movie from the front end in the past 1 week. Based on this insight, you can optimize your system or be prepared for the links that can be soon saturated. Last but not least, we overlaid icons to the problemed services to give an intuitive view to tell 1, whether or not there is any problem, and 2, what are types of problems are they. Service with a stopwatch icon indicates that the service has latency or response time issues. Service with a warning icon indicates that the service has errors. Service with both stopwatch and warning icons indicates the service has both errors and latency or response time issues. That's it. And now let's move on to the demos. To get to the service graph, we go to the application menu and click the service graph. And it will take us to a different kind of view, and we select the microservice view. So now, first of all, let's go to the top talkers. So you can notice we added a grid view as an icon. So you click on it, it will take you directly to this grid view where the hits is automatically ordered. So you can see the service in the order of the hits from the most to the least. And you can also go to the next page for a complete list. We can sort the hits, we can sort the response time. So in this case, we see the front end and recommendation suffers the worst response time. And we can also sort it by error. And from here, if I zoom out a little bit, you can see we can select more to it. If we are also interested in the response time in average, we can select it and add, and that will be added to the menu here. So this is P99 and this P average. So now we can always deselect it, a few things like protocols, and it will go back to the columns that you desired. You can do sort on various things, and you can also go to the service menu. As I talked in the presentation, it always comes in pair. So you can see the most hit generated is between Netflix front-ended to recommendation engine. And you can also do sort here and add more field into the view. So now let's go back to the service graph view. And if we hover onto any of the nodes, we can see, how the traffic is flowing, where the request coming and where it sent request to. So we mentioned the thickness of the edge is based on the hits and kind of proportionally to do with the data volume if we assume the payload are kind of the same. And we can also see the overlays. So in this case, telemetry store suffers the errors, not only the slowness, but also the error. And you can click into this toolkit to see summary view, but you can also go to the view details for drilling down view. Right? So in this case, we see it suffers some response time, and also we see anomalies, outliers on the error side. So that's about it, and thank you for your time viewing this demo.